Mike Holmes on the call. Okay, we do have a quorum. First order of business is approval of the minutes for March 4th. Entertain a motion to do that.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
They all second. Further discussion. I think we had one correction that Terry sent out at the addition of town name for the fire. With that, all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. On new business, we have claims approval. I had some thoughts I wanted to share on the claims, and to make sure I didn't leave anything out, I wrote this down.
We'll wait until like
Can accept matched claims. Each county charge must have its own claim with the requisite documentation and detailed explanation on what the charge was for.
yeah, that's like
Each claim must be accompanied by a receipt. No receipt equals no payment. Claims that do not meet these criteria will be denied and the employee will be required to pay them. On meals, the county follows IRS guidelines that state no per diem will be paid unless accompanied by an overnight stay. Meals associated with a business meeting are the responsibility of the employee and may not be charged to the county. The county does not approve other non-per diem business meal purchases. The county prefers that purchases for items such as fuel be made within the county. Fuel purchases outside the county should be made only on rare occasions and then only when necessary. In all cases, detailed receipts must be submitted. We are asking the EMA director to resubmit claims and that they not be considered tonight because they are not badged, not individualized, because they are badged and not individualized. And that in most cases,
I gotta add another 500.
required documentation, including receipts, is missing. By my count, we had 12 claims submitted. There were 19 credit card charges for February and 32 in March. Comments? Shannon?
There were claims that I don't see as badged that I would like to see approved, which would be the FS fuel bill. I believe we have that, and we don't obviously want cell phones to get turned off. So I believe those have been sent to us. Is that correct, Mike?
Yep. I've got March telephone, AT&T, $172.99. Piatt County Service Company, March fuel, $209.75. You're referring to, I think.
I'd make a motion to approve those so those bills can get paid accordingly.
I'll second that motion. Further discussion on that? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call on the motion.
Mr. Carroll?
Yes?
Mr. Spencer?
Yes.
Just put deliver to cashier's check.
Anything else?
I guess I would ask Mike if there's any other, I guess what would be considered non-batched claims within your package you sent.
Well, there was a first spear, I believe, 1596.02. Mike, can you tell us what first spear was for?
Partial purchase of Go Kits, which was approved during the emergency budget.
Yeah, Go Kits. I couldn't read my own writing. That could be approved.
Right. And Mike, maybe you can go down the claims that we were sent, just so we don't leave one out that could be approved along with the gas and the cell phone.
Well, the others seem to be like they're batch claims. something I'm missing.
The opt, can you explain that one, Mike, the opt? Yes, second. Don't have it in front of me.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Dang, what was wrong with it?
The claim that you just.
Oh, I said the first spear go kits.
Yes, the go kits.
That's PPE, right, that they take to someplace?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was complete.
Yes, yes.
I entertain a motion to pay that.
I'll take the motion to approve the PPE
First spear.
first spear.
159602. I'll second that. Further discussion on that?
Good.
Well, hearing none, we'll do a roll call on paying the first spear bill.
Mr. Carroll.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes,
Yeah.
motion carries. Can you regroup on this, Mike, and bring us more next week?
This is, this is the way that I've turned in claims for the 2 years I've been here. I'm not real certain what has changed, and if there was a change, I was not made aware of it.
All right.
So if there is a change, I would like some written instructions on how I would like me to proceed with claims, since apparently I've been doing it wrong for 2 years.
Well, we just can't approve things that are just lumped together in a category. You've got to see the receipts for individual items. There's like 50 some things on the 2 credit card months. So, like 51 items, so we're going to have to see what each of those is.
When do we have to get the vehicle?
Now, every time you scan the card, it goes to the Chase account, so.
Okay, so we don't have to go there tomorrow.
Well, as you know, the Bellwether Advantage people have been here and they've been giving us instructions of how to handle these things. So we've got to start doing things the correct way. So I think it's pretty clear what they want.
Has Bellwether met with all department heads and county board members yet? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
These cars are what? These cars are done.
Well, I guess we'll move on to the director's report, Mike. Tell us what's been going on. And I would say we've been getting the daily
Nobody's got
updates,
money.
but I'm a little bit confused. And maybe you can just explain how those work, because sometimes
And then they're not
I
paying
guess it's a
rent, so it's gonna be
weekend,
9
blank,
months to a
nothing
year.
on them, and sometimes it's a weekday and there's nothing
Once
on
they
them.
get
So I'm a
evicted
little
or
bit
move out
confused. Maybe it's
voluntarily,
just
and
me,
skip
I'm not
through
understanding.
landmark and the rent.
Sometimes there are items
There'll
on
be a
those
window
reports and
where they can
sometimes
buy
there are not any
vehicles
items on them. So I guess I'm
before
saying,
the
why are they
landlord
sent
sues them.
if there's nothing to report?
I don't know what you're talking about, because the ones I send are directly emailed to you, and they are filled out. Sometimes there's only 1 page, most times it's 2 pages, and during the downburst or downdraft winds, there was 3.5 pages. Well, actually, there was 20 pages. So I'm not sure what you're receiving. When I email them in PDF form, there's never been a blank. I have a 214 daily log every single day that's turned in.
I wonder if they're coming through right, because I can see the log, but I don't see
Well,
the
these
items
guys
listed
probably-
on the log. And I see your signature at the bottom. I don't see the items. And usually they're like 2 pages.
I don't know, but,
I don't know whether it's something with the system or what.
well, it doesn't say wait about an hour.
Are you getting them, Shannon?
before they know.
Yes, I've got them where I, open up your attachment and it has the,
This is what I was thinking, putting a
your
bid in.
time, which usually starts off with your NOAA
See what happens.
weather report and then throughout the day.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're not showing up for you, Ray. I mean, I've never, I don't create I have a 214 for every single day during this event, and I've never sent a blank. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Glitch in the system.
I'll write you tomorrow.
Well, I'll have to check, I'll check into it, I guess.
But yeah, I've been seeing them, there may have been a blank one or two at the beginning. But I think whenever I hit the box, I can hit preview and then they pull up that sheet that has the hour by hour breakdown.
Yeah, that's what I can see.
Okay,
Well, maybe I need to sit with Shannon and let him show me how he did it. Maybe that's- I'm getting your emails, I'm just saying, sometimes you don't see items, nothing to read.
It may be kind of page, because a few of mine had the second page that was sent, but there may not have been an item on there. That could be what it was.
Okay. Well, continue, go ahead with your report. Shouldn't have distracted you.
As EMA director, I want to share information with the public and with the county board when appropriate. I'm not trying to keep information from the public, but at the same time, certain information must remain confidential to maintain the integrity of the mission as the situation develops. Having said that, to share with you today, PPE distribution is very slow. We have a lot of certain items and none of others. That's not just germane to Piatt County, that's pretty much every county south of I-80 and some counties even above. We have been able to keep up. Just recently, the nursing home has fell behind a little bit on gowns, but Kirby stepped up and donated some reusable ones. So that's taken care of for now. And we should be getting a large amount of shipments coming in the next week or two from the airlift that Governor Pritzker authorized from China. Still waiting to get to see if Judge Stinson is going to establish an order for PPE worn in the courthouse. There's still essential court going on with people in attendance. There was a large gathering today. There was PPE available and most of the attendees was wearing, but we're waiting to see if Judge Stinson wants to enter the order that it's mandatory or not. There has been some questions about the 53-foot refrigerated trailer. I don't know if they were answered in the last week or not. I'm not even sure what to say about it. This is something that nobody wants to talk about, but it's a necessity. It's a part of our EOP. It's a part of the state EOP, Emergency Operations Plan, and it's a part of operations anytime there is a large disaster emergency. I've heard comments, why do we need such a big one? Why do we need one at all? For those who are not aware, Kirby Hospital does not have a morgue, and the county morgue only holds 3 individuals. And during a normal year, when there's no emergency, those spaces become taken up, and there is a shuffling process that goes on between funeral homes and other places in order to process the deceased. With the emergency situation that's going on, funeral homes cannot have a congregation of people to have services, and unless the individuals are getting cremated, which is still a backup, there is a definite possibility that we could get bottlenecked, even if we have the normal amount of deaths in the county for a regular month.
We didn't have to pay for that trailer, did we? There's no cost, was it?
No, it's from the disaster mortuary team, from FEMA, from EMA, And the one that we have is actually leased out of Collinsville, and we're swapping it out this week to get an actual DMORT owned one. But there's no cost to the county whatsoever.
That's what I thought.
So, we can't get a smaller one. It is what it is. They come on one side. It's not pretty to look at. It's not pretty to think about, but it's part of the plan. So, hyper-reach status, I was told today that they got the 911 data files that they were waiting for, so they pushed it on into engineering. We should have that up and running within a week, maybe 2 weeks. Then we'll have training and the implementation, and the sign-up should go very easy. Counties around us have completed it fairly painless.
That's not what I, today was this Comm Labs government systems. That's not that, is it?
No, that is the nuclear communication system that we have to have through Exelon. That's something completely different.
Oh, okay.
The big item on the horizon is the alternative housing plan. I wrote a initial version of it by the order of the governor, and it was passed, and they have been trying to upgrade them ever since. Several of us have kind of held off on it because we weren't sure if it was really going to stay around and last, but it is, and now there needs to be investments in our alternative housing selection, which is a hotel here in the county. I sent 2 weeks ago or a week ago some information on the alternative housing plan and the financial commitments from the county. And those are items that we need to try and figure out how we're going to invest into that property in case we have to house individuals. And this is for the housing of what they've been used for recently is housing of first responders that are infected and do not want to return home to their family. They have a wife and children at home. Then it is by the order of the governor our responsibility to put them up into housing. And with that housing comes quite a bit of, not sure what you call it, quite a bit of costs. So I'm not going to read through them. There's about 100 of them, maybe 60. But at some point,
Yes. Your like 11-page report, I believe. Have you talked with any other counties to implement this plan yet?
yes, they've all implemented it. I mean, this is not an option. We are mandated to do it. So there's discussion on how it's going to be paid for, but it's not we don't, from my direction, it's not we can choose to do it or not. We got all the ones surrounding us. We got Douglas, Champaign, McLean, Macon, DeWitt, Logan, Iroquois, Livingston, Vermilion. That's just some that are in our region, Woodford. But I'm not sure how to get it across. It's not hey, we'll do it, hey, we won't do it. This is something that's being passed down that you have to do it. And people are fighting it, people are arguing about it, but it's not going away. So
I guess keep us in touch with that. any county is actually, using the facilities and how that's working if that plan comes to fruition.
They've set up regional housing that the state is paying for, but they're not allowing you to utilize that housing until you've already exhausted the housing that you have within your jurisdiction. So an example would be, Will County has exhausted their 25-bed alternate housing, so I don't know how they're dividing it, some of the cases are going up to McCormick Place in Chicago. So that's a regional housing, but we can't tap into the regional housing until we've exhausted our local resource.
Keep us posted on that. I think that's a good idea. We'll be meeting again next week. Anything else?
Not really, just dispensing PPE to all the fire departments, law enforcement agencies, nursing home, a couple of county agencies that are on the priority list, and the priority list shifts about every week and a half, 2 weeks. They jog it around, so there might be some openings for other departments that weren't on the priority list to actually get some of the PPE. I know I talked to Jamie Tribon today about if it possibly starts ramping up with the transportation department, if they start allowing people to ride the bus again, what she is going to need for her drivers. As of right now, that's not on the priority list, but if anything gets lifted in the near future, then critical transportation is going to be one of the things that they're going to start supplying PPE for. As well as court. Court was not on the priority list, but it has moved up to the bottom of the list because we're not supposed to be having much court. But if they release some of these restrictions, then court will be opening more, and then we're going to have to provide protection for the people attending.
Hand sanitizer's been distributed, some of it, or how's that working?
Yes, that's, I believe, 19, 21, 22. I think we've distributed 26 or 27 gallons of it. Some of it in bulk 5-gallon containers, some of it for the jail in 68-ounce and 32-ounce spray bottles. It's able to be used as hand sanitizer or disinfectant. So it can be put in a spray bottle and actually used to disinfect hard surfaces. So that's still available. I'm dispensing it, and Jamie's taking care of the payments or the cost part of it to recoup what she purchased it for.
I thought I saw where Champagne was utilizing plastic bags or something. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Mike, has your location been working out okay for distribution and receiving, I should say, probably more receiving than distribution?
Yes, it's working out fine. The IDOT guys are very pleased that we have the piece of equipment we do to get the stuff out of the back of the dump trucks. So everything seems to be working just fine.
So, Michael, things on that list that we approved the money for the other day, a couple of weeks ago now, what have you gotten and what have you purchased off that list?
I don't have the computer in front of me. I don't have the list in front of me, but off the top of my head, we have purchased the HyperReach. We've signed the agreement for HyperReach. I haven't put a claim in for it yet. We have signed the agreement for the badging software. They're going to invoice us because we've done business with them before. Got one, we're having to split up the Go Kit purchases because there's not a lot of vendors that are able to satisfy larger purchases. So I purchased some from First Spear, tried to purchase some from BDS Tactical yesterday, and the credit card was denied. We've got a couple other, or I have a couple other locations that we can purchase those from. Purchased emergency lighting. I issued a PO for the emergency lighting, so as soon as that gets here, we'll have an invoice to put a claim toward. Purchased the mobile printer and the office printer, and most everything has been quoted out. Most all the other stuff has been quoted out. I'm getting ready to purchase the cell phone booster once the credit card issue gets fixed.
Okay, thank you.
Mike, were you able to purchase all the, originally, 100 of the Go Kids, or did you say how many of those you were able to get?
I put down 100. I mean, we have to, hopefully we remember that I was instructed to make that list in about 10 minutes. So that was a large guesstimation. I don't believe we're going to get 100, but they are a little more expensive than the $55 that I put down. So it's,
how much are those, and how many have we received so far?
I believe we've received 17, and those were at 70 each, I believe. I don't have it from.
That gives us a good idea what the cost would be if we were able to get more. How many more do you think that are needed?
Probably about 20, 25. I mean, it's going to depend on how much farther this goes along. I mean, if we're going to have to start carrying PPE on our body, like for the first responders, for everything they do, like it seems to be what everybody's pushing for, then they're going to have a nice place to put it. So, you know, I don't have an exact count. We're not going to supply full fire departments with it or anything like that.
Okay, anything else? Anything else, Mike?
No, not really. The email I sent you about the credit card yesterday, I don't know what the status is on that.
Peter, I've got people in the room might be able to speak to it. Linda or Linda, anything on that? No, we don't know anything about it. Could be after we get the claims approved and paid, and that might help.
Yeah, Mike, I think with the credit card, if we go and get those approved, say next week, and get that bill paid down, that would be a goal with these receipts and company the credit card statement.
That could be with hitting the ceiling, hitting the limit on the card, perhaps.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move on to public comment. And if you have a public comment, please state your name for the minutes, please. I don't hear.
Hi, this is Randy Schumart. I have a comment.
Okay, Randy, go ahead.
Mike, I have been receiving all your daily logs, and thank you very much for that update. I really do appreciate that a lot, because it does mean something to me. I'm not sure if it does a lot of other ones. But Ray, you definitely have a great idea there going forward of giving daily logs for all the departments for the county. I think that's something that we can look forward to seeing in the near future. And like I said, that's a great idea that some of these departments can start reporting to us. And as far as the claims that's coming in, is everybody turning in their claims on time as well? And is there a set time for the meetings occurring for the committee meetings for the claims that everybody can start attending as well too? That we can actually start looking at these claims for all the departments, if you don't mind.
Any other comments? Okay, we don't have a need for an executive session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
There was no other comments?
No other comments.
Hearing none, I'd make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.